Hello everybody, and a warm welcome to Berringer on this Sunday morning, and I have a layout update for you. So all the layout update comes at the other end. For those of you who watch regularly, you'll know which end I've been working on. So currently my whole station is crammed as usual, as we've evacuated the area that I've been working on. So here we are at the village area, and this is the beginning of the update, and all this has been done relatively recently, as you've seen. This I need to just touch up and redo, but basically it's just again linking it all up together, and what I've been doing is basically this side of the tunnel, and that's where all the work has been done this week. It's just along here. So if I just take you through it, the tunnel mouth is a Pico tunnel mouth. It's the same as the one on the other side, and basically I wanted to keep it the same. So except obviously it's a double track, not a single track, but the actual style is exactly the same, and it's not only is it just a Pico tunnel mouth with abutments, but I've actually weathered it and repainted it in the same sort of style as I did my stonework, excuse me, at the seam section. Then basically it's the hillside's formed of paper, then the plaster bandage, as some of you may have seen from last week, and then it's covered in burnt grass, so you can see it's bare in places, and then there's grass in certain areas, and then after, like I said, it's covered in fine burnt grass was the first layer, and then in certain areas I've added some grass, and then in other areas it's pretty bare. And then I've also added some fine leaf foliage just to sort of suggest it's just overgrown over the tunnel portals. And then I've put some bushes here, just to fill in the gaps, and also just to add some bushes as well. I mean, what I've done here with this is I created, with this abutment here, is I've created a hillside, then took a Stanley knife and cut into the plaster bandage once it was dry, slotted in the abutment, and then basically just started filling it in and blending it in, and that's pretty much what I've done there. So if you just sort of pull out a bit, I mean, as you can sort of see, compared to what it was before, where you used to see the polystyrene up here and all the rest of it, and it's now got something to look at, so it makes it a lot more interesting. And again, this is, like I said, it's another module which lifts out, so it's only just held into position with just stack one pin, because this little corner tended to go that way, so I just put a pin and just hold it into position. I haven't finished this side, I haven't quite decided what I'm doing about that bit just yet, so I've just left it as it is. So that's been pretty time consuming, but it's been good, it's been enjoyable. I've now added some clump foliage, some clump bushes and whatnot over here to also blend it in. And also what I've done is I've actually stretched it along the back wall here and along the retaining wall here, and I've also gone up to that end now, so that back piece has now been done. And if you see in the foreground, I've actually started, I haven't actually hoovered it up, that's why it still looks a bit messy. So I'm going to take the hoover to that this morning and clean that all up. But basically I've done the embankment here as well. So that's looking pretty good now. It's all sort of getting tied in. We've also now got our two DMUs and the EMU on the left. We've got this fourth side in here. The sort of plan with this is almost do a similar sort of thing as what I did with the TMD, and actually just use the card and create a bit of a hard stand in here with the card, and then probably put I was thinking of scratch building a carriage shed to go over this, not completely but over it, and to create a building. So that was what my thoughts are on that. On this side, I still haven't really decided what I'm doing with that. I'm still trying to work out what I'm going to do with that. I have a few ideas, but like I said, nothing concrete. I'm waiting for my head to just have one of those light bulb moments, and then I'll be able to work out and go, that's what I want to do. But for now, I've just been sort of tackling a little bit at a time, and I seem to get more done like that rather than think of it as a whole thing. So basically, this week what I've been doing is doing all of that, and if you pan out, all of that there. So this back wall piece here is virtually completed. I'm thinking that these numbers will all come off as well. It's just held on with those two screws, one there, and then the carriage shed will just go right up to the end here. So I think that will work quite nicely. I'm really pleased because I've now got, like I said, 5 roads underneath, and then I've got another 4 plus the one over there in the corner, so that gives us 10. And I had 7 before, so I've got an extra 3. And then over at the new shot section there'll probably be some more sidings for storing locos and things and DMUs. And then when I start working at the other end, there'll probably be another little smaller fiddle yard as well. So there should be enough to cover everything. I've still got some wagons and things that I'd like to buy, because I'm actually in some need of some wagons as well. So I'm just trying to prioritise everything as to what I'd like to get done. So my priority has been to try and get some of the scenery work done, because then I can feel happy about doing running sessions and things like that. So I like to see progress, and I like to see things getting done. I'm not quite sure about the hillside, whether I'm going to do some more to it or not. Probably more than likely I probably will. And we'll see how we get on with that. But like I said, what I've done is I've just done it like this. I've left it, and then I'm going to see how I'm going to live with it. And then if I decide at some point that I'd like to do a bit more to it, either add one or two more trees, add a few trees I should say, because there isn't any. That's something that's missing on this layout, is trees and people. So it's a few things, it's a couple of things that I'd like to try and address. So yeah, those are a couple of things that I'd like to do. So, but for the minute, I'm just sort of done it as like a base, and then see where it takes me, see whether or not I'm happy to live with it like this, or whether or not I'm going to add to it. On another note, this class 25 is a lovely little addition to my layout, which has been around with me for a few weeks now, and it's a couple of surprises with this particular loco. My green 25 didn't have lighting on it, but this one does, so I'm really pleased about that. I didn't expect this one to have lighting, but obviously this one does, so I'm really pleased with that. So that's nice little bonus. It's also weathered, and it's lovely. Like I said, I've always liked 25s, and like I said with my story before, so when I got my HST all them years ago, and I was looking through the Hornby catalogue, they did have a class 25 pictured at a station, and I always liked it. So, but obviously it's the Batman version because it's much better. It also has a driver in it, and 25052 is the loco number. And the thing is about this particular class 25 is I was doing some research on it as well, because there was another one at my local model shop that I was half eyeing up, but the front of the cab here had the square window, and I wanted one with the door still attached to it before refurbishment and stuff. So I like that. And then the other thing is 25052 is actually a Western region class 25, and it was seen, and I've seen in the internet, that it was pulling China clay hoods around St Blaise in Cornwall. So it's nice that this 25 is actually a Western region 25 as opposed to a Scottish 25. So, and it runs really lovely, and this particular 25, and well, I say this particular 25, but my 25 and all the short wheelbase ones like my 33s and 73s will be doing like short freight trains up to New Shot through the warehouse and stuff like that, because the corners are a bit more tighter, and then we use the big 47s and the 50s and 60s to do the expresses and the long runs from one fill yard to the other side. But as you can see from this view, with the scenery in the background, you can see how much of a difference it's made and how much better it looks. I mean, I still have to sort of detail, as you can see, the inside of the tunnel porthole, just to blacken that off a bit. So that's one of the other things I'd like to do. So that'll be something that I will be doing shortly. Another thing I'll be doing is I'll be doing some work to the bridge section. As you can see, it's I mean, this is obviously, I've still got the seam section to put on top of it, so that covers all the holes and everything. Now the issue that I've got with this seam section at the moment is I need to get some copper clad wires to do the joins, which is what I'm going to be doing, and I'll probably do a how-to tutorial on that at some point when that actually comes. So that's something that I need to do, and something I need to do fairly rapidly actually. The other thing is with this raised section is it has a slight, as you can see, there's got two prongs in it for it to slot into the two holes there, and it works very well, but sometimes there's a bit of play in it, which means that it doesn't quite line up. So my other bit that I need to do today is I've still got some of this piece of wood here, which is going to act as the legs to make sure that it stays upright and straight. So obviously I need to trim it down to this sort of, to the level of where this brown section is for the TMD here. So basically when the bridge section comes up, it's completely flush and level with that track there and the track on the other end. So that was one of the issues that I was having with it, so that's something else that needs. So I've got a few bits of housekeeping that need doing. Currently my 73's parked here, and the two 33's, and like I said, it's all these short little wheel-based ones that will be able to go up to the new shot section once that gets completed. I have started doing a bit of work to it, but that's only purely just adding the backboard here to it, and I haven't really done anything else to it because I've been working on the back end there of the on the hill section and the bridge between the canal and the filler yard for the rest of the stock. So anyway, I will love you and leave you, and thanks for watching. Feel free to comment and subscribe as always, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.